Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Dragon. Last time we crashed him playing mech, and we also got our shadows. And this turned out to be the Let's Play where I just screw with my audio the entire time. As this episode is recording without my headset mic. So I can actually use my mouse for once because my laptop only has 3 USB ports. Um, Let me know if this is better or worse. I can hardly tell. They sound slightly more clear in the headset mic, but this I can sound. Sound. Uh, Same for another day. Um. Anyways, same rules apply today on everything. It's like, I was gonna say this is like one of the only free full heals in the game, but that's actually very wrong. The game is actually really generous with its full heals mid-dungeon. Like, until you get to like endgame dungeons in Disc 3, there still will often be midpoint heals. Like, free heals in dungeons themselves. Yeah, this game's really generous with its healing. Which should be a nice change of pace compared to Partners in Time, where there was 2 full healing blocks in the entire game, in Peach's Castle and right before the final boss arena. And home. Pokemon is the other game that's real generous, but granted, it's an RPG for kids. Until you get into competitive, then you can go fluff yourself. Because the game tells you nothing. Ah, brain. Brain, work with me. Castlevania is another game that's very generous with its healing. Kind of. Yeah, for much time I haven't really played that. Well, I played quite a few RPGs. Um, Most of the games, like what? Yeah, have pretty generous healing mid-dungeon. Uh, Etrian, aside from 1, and Type of Dragon DS are really the only game I can think of that have overwhelmingly unfair. Well, overwhelmingly in quotation marks, unfair healing. But granted, healing at the end is pretty cheap. It's just that mid-dungeon healing is difficult, to say the least. Granted, and that's when you're exploring one big dungeon, and in Seventh Dragon, it's pretty cheap to heal. Now, why did I know I went on this huge tangent of healing systems in video games because we got healed. Yeah, I was like, magic floor, true, so strange. It's a village. Yeah. Other healing in this game is pretty cheap. You'll mostly spend all your money on equipment and items, and I never really felt like there's a huge money problem if you just check everything on the map. If you don't, it can be actually kind of problems. So you don't get a lot of money from encounters.
Nothing.
And you don't really get... It's really rare and a notable event when an item drops from an enemy. It is stupid uncommon. You'll mostly get most of your items and equipment from chests, which, granted, there's a lot of chests in this game.
Metal.
Like, a lot. Also, from just mashing A on everything in the environment. Again, not going for 100%, but it's really good to get this number up early because some of the things that the nothingness trader gives you later is actually pretty decent when you leveled up generalist enough to get the extra equipment slots.
Gold.
That can only be used to equip special equipment. aka less than 1% of the equipment in the game.
Gold.
Granted, it's not that big of a problem, because... yeah. If I push it, it might move. Yep.
Nothing.
It's just to show you that most of the overworld is interactable. You'll often need to do that to create fast forwards and whatnot.
Gold.
Fun fact, I don't know if we're gonna see it this episode, but we might. Rocks and stuff can get EXP, SP, and even stat buffs, which 90% of them are going on to Shu. Because no matter what, he's actively probably the most useful party member in the game. Or most active party member in the game. There'll rarely be a moment where he's not in your party. The other two, however... the other two... that's a different story. Anyways, we're on the overworld, and it's gonna teach us about enemy encounters. Okay, this is what I was talking about yesterday, the multi-enemy encounter. Oh yeah, I'm learning. When I get tired, I stop recording. That's why this is the next day. For me. So I don't want to get salty mid-recording and just sour my taste of the Let's Play, like... two of my potential Let's Plays so far that I've recorded a few episodes for, but one had editing problem, two, Neo the World Ends You is a lot more fun as a solo, as you play it by yourself, than a, wow, this is fun to watch. In my opinion. Streaming it, however, is a different story because you can interact with chat and, you know, have the entertainment is interacting with the streamer. Or watching the VOD. One of these days I'll put chat in my streams. But considering I stream on YouTube, YouTube is very good at storing VODs. exceptionally good at storing VODs compared to Twitch. And it keeps live chat. I haven't really felt the need to put chat in my video, in my streams. Anyway, the skill set menu. In the count, yeah, you get any enemies in the circle. You fight them all back to back, but there are exceptions to it. And also, if you select one, you can just select one of them. You cannot get a back attack doing this. Trust me, I tried. Remember, I've played this for years. Most of the time you'll see this, like, just fight all. Because it's just faster. Hell, fighting all is just faster in general for both leveling and battling, instead of fighting one at a time. Well, aside from the obvious screen transitions. You'll see in 30 seconds. Well, I say 30 seconds. Depending on if we get a multi-enemy encounter. Generally, you'll see me try to lure enemies close together. Remember, Chloe is the magic attacker. Speaking of which... yeah, I'm gonna switch her background right now. No, I'm not gonna move her position in the thing, because she will be in the middle once we get our last two party members. Magic Medicine is your ethers. I'm gonna show this right now, because we have the multi-monster encounter. Again, remember, Boosty snakes are the weakest enemy in the game. You can now one-shot them, even with Clue in the back row. The boost table roulette. For every round, which is wave of enemies, the boost counter will show up. It can go from anything from attack boosts, defense boosts, healing, stats effect healing, MP restore, which is probably the best option it can give, and is probably the cheapest way to actually refill your health, your mana, because magic medicines are expensive-ish, and don't heal for a lot early game. You don't get the really potent stuff until late game. Don't waste your MP on these guys. They die in one hit. And Food Snakes will consistently be some of the weakest enemies in the game. Should keep Jiro on White Magic for a little bit longer. We only have access to level 1 spells right now. A level 1 spell. Flipping a character onto a different class is pretty good for if you don't really need skills on that class you have them on for a bit. And so having Jiro on offense early game is really gonna help. Fun fact, certain classes have different attack animations. Like, specifically Swordmaster has a different attack animation compared to everything else, as you saw with Jiro. I don't know if every class has a different attack animation. It's weird. Fun fact, enemies on the overworld also have specific ranges they are bound to, depending on where they spawn. No, I'm not level grinding. Shut up. You don't have to fight everything you see in this game. It's generally a good idea to try to round things up. And you see Shu's attack boost really helping out right now. Okay then. Also remember, you do not restore your HP or MP when leveling. Yeah. I think I mentioned this yesterday, but your stats that you gain from leveling are tied to HP. Your levels are HP and MP, while your rank determines your stats or your class, your shadow level. I could switch Juro back to white magic right now. I'm not, because I want at least level 2 sword magic on Juro. Here's the exception I was talking about. Monster fights. Certain enemies really do not like each other, and they will fight each other. This is both good and bad, because you have to fight an encounter with more enemies in it at once. But oftentimes, they'll either heavily weaken your opponent, or just flat out insta-kill them. Many of the hardest fights in the game, aside from bosses, because yes, there are hard, regular enemies in this game, are better to be taken down in multi-monster fights, rather than 1v1s. Because otherwise you could go for a lot of spells. Granted, you will go for a lot of spells, because multi-target skills. When a monster fight is in progress, enemies may fight each other or even eat one another. I really like this. It makes the, enemies feel less like, well, enemies and more like creatures in a world. Wow! It's giving me a chance to show it off immediately. Good game design! Not even joking, that is good game design. So you can test it out. You do get it, and the best part, you get XP for this. And shadow levels. You don't get many shadow levels for a one-on-one. For a single wave of enemies. You only really get multiple during multi-monster encounters. And monster fights. That is an example of when you probably don't want to use magic. Yeah, so there are times where you probably don't want to use magic, because you're probably going to end up killing the enemy anyways. I still have yet to go over the magic system in this game. I'll get there eventually, we just haven't encountered many things that actually want to see the magic against them. Clue's going to stay on magic for a little while. Sometimes enemies will drop golden ones have gold in them. Always have gold in them. Sometimes they'll drop items, sometimes they'll drop other stuff. The other stuff is really fucking rare. You will not see it very often unless you fight hundreds of enemies.
What's that? Another land shark?
Let's go see. Playable.
There's the problem. My mic picks up my TV.
Play.
Although my TV is pretty quiet. Yeah. Who's next will Flake? They are fucking cowards. We don't quite have effective multi-target abilities right now on like fast characters like Shu. Again, Shu is going to be for a while the fastest character. Or usually he'll get the first turn advantage. No. I don't trust that. That looks like...
Item.
Yeah, I don't trust it. I just got a like text message that just screams scam.
Play. Play. Detected.
Yeah. Who's next for 90% of the game will fly from you. Fuck, that completely destroyed my train of thought.
Defeated.
Yeah, that completely destroyed my train of thought. Well, shit. Oh no, 1 damage. I'm gonna be fighting things for a little while, early game, because I kind of want the ability to switch classes really soon.
Treasure. Gold.
Extra gold is always nice. Wait, I don't have level 2 yet. Because I was gonna go for at least level 2.
Gold.
Yeah, remember to hit A on everything. It's gonna help out in the long run. Because I'm feeling up to it, and I ain't on any sort of time limit, aside from like an hour. Because side episodes are gonna be longer than regular episodes. You know, same rules apply as regular shit. Shout out to anybody who reads the descriptions of my videos.
Item.
Oh yeah, you can tend to get spells on the overworld, and we have probably one of my favorite spells to just spam against single targets. Because this is a single target, black magic spell. But flare. Or fire. Flare is like, aside from like the higher level spells, is the only one that has a unique name that isn't just fire. Yeah, it's single targets, but it is effective
Leg.
when enemies don't have in situations that enemies don't have weaknesses or existences. Yep. Yeah, most of the time I'm just gonna shove it either onto Shu or Clo because late game Clo is going to end up being a bit of, well, glass. And lower level than the rest of your party. Say what happens or why. Just know Clo is going to be a bit of a well, not I wouldn't say liability, but against the harder fights, she is going to be a bit of a powerful character to keep alive. But she makes up for that in her probably the best damage in the game. But not at, like, max level.
Leg.
Then everyone is kind of
Gold.
equally really powerful. Especially if you've mastered all the classes that give you beneficial stat bonuses based on their rank.
Join.
Remember, sometimes items can be... You can push things in the environment, sometimes items will be underneath it. Antidote, healing. I don't think I need to say that, but yeah, antidotes are healing.
Nothing.
Yeah, don't get disappointed by seeing nothing in the overworld. They're actually very good. They're not quite nothing.
Item.
That is here a unique stat that called Stinky. It's very rarely inflicted, but I believe it lowers your hit rate and makes it so you're targeted more often. I have the box so I can double check. Wistet's manual. Stink. Target can be found more easily on the field. Also increases the probability of being stunned during battle. I was wrong. But that actually does help. Because it increases the range of enemies can move on the field, which means higher enemy density. You can get into a monster brawl with. Granted, not something that really come up until late chapter 1. Yeah, Act 1, Disc 1, whatever you want to call it. Early Disc 2. Because you don't have a way to automatically inflict Stinky onto a target.
Join.
Very careful. There's no boss up ahead. Well, there is a boss up ahead, just not in this map. But there is our first encounter, at least an enemy that kind of is actually dangerous for early game outside of multi-monster.
Item.
Medicine. Again, you pretty much anything that looks like an object and not level geometry, interact with it. That is actually just flat out nothing and doesn't give you a nothing attached to the counter. Oh wow, a three battle. Yeah. Alright, tip number 1. Target the enemy earliest in the queue more often. I can't really show. Okay. I haven't explained the magic yet. But sword magic, until you have one of the monk skills, is actually an exception to magical. Yeah. This game, out of grindy... Anyways, back to the slide. Really, out of the grindy games, this really isn't. Yeah, until you know, extremely underleveled, your ranks are low. Thank you. No, those are not permanent bonuses. Before I get to talk about magic, yeah, this isn't really grind until you're extremely underleveled and you're taking 90% damage from everything. Though you can, with enough determination, defeat even the hardest, some of the hardest encounters with enough items and determination and healing. And okay, you can finish do anything, kinda. Anyways, magic. How magic works? When you do it, you have to charge it. Magic needs to be charged. Certain magic will also have certain added effects when charged. And there's that red zone, that's the sweet spot. Hitting that allows you to deal slightly more damage and put you slightly further ahead in the turn order. I believe. I need to double check the manual. See if it says anything about that. Yeah, there's still abnormal states and enemies. And that's just French. Outside of the normal status effects, that is. The game does not say how magic works. Oh, boost message appear and bomber screen. Okay, now that's just talk about consecutive battles and boosts and encounters. Spell, save, what else? Because I use it. It does not say. Wow. Wow. Generally, you want to hit for the red zone for most spells. Wind, the longer you charge it, the more area of effect it has. Give me MP games, please and thank you. Okay, what is he gonna say? I think General Red Zone is like more damage, higher healing. And each spell generally have their own sweet spot. Yeah, but generally speaking, more charge, more damage. But usually, unless the characters are really fast, or like burst in the turn order, or back attacks, multiple situations can, when you charge, you have to go after you charge. If you go, the bar goes past, let's say, Shu was charging and it goes past Juro on the bar. He then uses the magic after Juro has attacked. Or done whatever thing. So it's a very dynamic system. It might just seem like turn-based shenanigans right now. Standard turn-based shenanigans, but there will be some, like, strategizing on, okay, I need to charge this much. I'm doing, especially for healing, because usually you want to quick heal. You can't always charge for a really good heal. You just kind of have to settle for bare minimum, and that's kind of the risk you have to take sometimes. It's a very dynamic. Once you start getting charging magic and evolved. First non-standard skill. It's actually pretty meh early on. But if you want to if you want to just fucking say fuck these enemies in particular, there's a spell for you. That is in range. The circle has a lot more range than you think it does. Because, remember, pretty overworld. And something like that is a bit of a problem. I won't show it off here, but, like, Modown will do, like... Note that I'm doing, like, 33 with Shu against these enemies. Don't be afraid to use your spells. This game really isn't stingy with its magic. Yeah, you do significantly less. For moments like these, you kinda actually want to charge. And I fucked it up. God damn it. Well then. Again, you can tell because these guys haven't gone down in one hit, but they're very beefy, and a bit of a problem early game. Although I think this should kill. So, even when, in example, even when situations when the strong enemy is the one targeting others, it's still better to get in multi-monster brawl battle or a monster fight, because the other enemies can act as distractions. Wow, 2 of them. Do not get into an encounter before you collect them. They will disappear forever, and you will miss them. Also, don't open a chest. Yeah. Honestly, just equip stuff onto people. There is a bit of a priority order of what you should, who you should equip what on who first. Kind of. Again, it's very flexible. Generally, Shu wants attack equipment first. You want to put attack equipment on Shu. Defensive equipment on whoever needs it the most. Probably Clue. Yeah, probably Cloak. Yeah, probably Cloak. Unless it's magic defense, then Shu. Magic attacking equipment goes on Cloak. I'm gonna be honest, I really love the critical and miss things. He is probably gonna end up killing the bugs, the ancient cricket. I cannot pronounce that. He'll probably end up killing him, though, first. So, or I'm just gonna outright kill him. I think it's like somewhere around 100 HP. I don't know exact HP values. Because that stuff is a little harder to suss out. Alright, our first class unlocked. Always choose Generalist first. Always. Yeah, always choose Generalist first. As you can see, why I say levels do not give you anything. Because of Generalist class. So we are extremely weak in this state, but we want to keep this because Generalist has the best skills in the game. The ability to equip more accessories as a base. And the extra accessories I'll talk about. And more skills. We really desperately need those. As 4 is not enough. As 3 is not enough. You can get up to +8. Kind of. Because the plus skill, it's a skill, it's actually +7. And no, you cannot stack them, as they'll just upgrade to the next tier. Though there will be situations where they do stack. So yeah, right now, early game, switching to Generalist is just better, because enemies aren't strong enough. and you don't have the spells needed to do, like, much. Again, always choose Generalist first. That's like my #1 advice with this game. Choose Generalist first, level it up as fast as possible. Because Kook's attack and defense is not that far off of everybody else's right now, because of Generalists, I'm just going to quickly switch her back into the front row. Her MP and HP, however, will be something a bit more than the others. But generally speaking, it's really just up to personal preference. This game is really malleable with its classes. Though the game hasn't taught us about really how to switch classes, but it's not hard to tell, and you can technically do it from the moment you get the classes unlocked. Again, remember, Shu has a base plus higher attack than everyone. So even with Generalist, he's going to be doing a lot more damage than everyone else. Money will be... Okay, I say they're rare. I've been like 6 this episode. Trust me, they're rare. I don't normally get this many. But it's really good early game. Yeah. He has a base like +1 to attack, which isn't that much. Like, you don't think about it, you might not think it's all that much. No, it is. It really is. He will often go first in battles. He'll just like, he has a faster speed, often go first. And he will often like deal more damage. You know, aside from like, there's also other ways up. Stats, obviously. You can get them randomly. No, I say randomly. It's actually set what you get in each thing. But there's overall prop. But it's like, you don't think about it very often. Or it's a lot to remember. Especially because I haven't played for a wee bit. Especially like Disc 1 in a wee bit. Most of our time is going to be spent in Disc 3. I think of what I'm going to do with the playlist is have one big playlist and a smaller playlist for each disc. So if you're struggling on Disc 2, you can just go into Disc 2 playlist. If you're struggling in Disc 1, of course, once all the episodes are out, that's going to be a thing, and that's not going to be for a long while. This is a long game. Like, really goddamn long. Because it's one of those games that you do not get XP when you're dead. Make sure you actually have your all party members alive before the end of the battle. Because dead party members will lag. And they will lag a lot. Also, do not be afraid to defend. First, poison enemies. I'm only gonna get two of them. If I had the ability to... The lore ability, I think that is a monk, I believe. And... Thinky. That wouldn't be so much of a problem. Also, you can see different attack animations. The little effect is also different on classes that I know is different between 90% of the classes in the game. Because it's just particle effects. And particle effects are easy. Also, you can tell what type of monster you're fighting from its defeat animation. Just speeding things up a little bit. She's like, machines will have their own defeat animation, ghosts will have their own, magic monsters, and normal monsters will have their own, each have their own defeat animation. Which again is pretty, it's, which the other games do not have, because yes, get into particle effects versus sprites. I could complete Shu's full set, right now, but Jiro might actually be a better, I don't know.
Nothing.
Generally, I kind of tend to have everyone. So, yeah, you kind of do and kind of don't want a jack of all trades. Is it? Yeah, I kind of do, kind of don't. We're just closing on my arbitrary time limit. When we get to the village, I'll end the episode. Which the rate I'm going is not gonna be for a while. Or a little bit. Also, generally in multi-monster brawl fights, you go first each wave, which doubly is the reason why battles tend to go faster in multi-monster. Damn you, damage ranges! Yeah. We're really gonna be weak for a little bit.
Here's go.
Yay, we unlocked the base skill. No, we're not unequipping Generalists yet.
Nothing. Gold.
Yeah, gold will tend to be the one you get the most.
Are you guys all right? Hey, how come we can't use this magic?
You mean healing magic?
Yeah, you and I are always doing the attacking, and Jiro's doing the healing. Maybe we each have a specific magic.
Hey, class tutorial that I already went through. Because you can get, unless you're like intentionally avoiding enemies, don't do yourself a favor and actually fight, because when you're underleveled, battles become a bit, the bosses become a bit of a headache. Especially the first boss. Especially if you don't know what you're doing, that is.
Item.
Speaking of that, I should keep Jiro on Generalist for a little bit, but I want at least level 1 Black Magic on him before the boss. Why? You'll see. Tomorrow. Well, this is, achievement unlock back attack. Yeah. Back attacks will also allow you to go first, and if you're fast enough, generally outspeed enemies. And you'll have better time on the charge gauge. Oh yeah, each shadow has their own attack animation for like every spell. Like every spell has a different cast animation. Well, every shadow has a different cast animation, and generally all the black magic spells, like ground, earth, same thing. God damn it. Ground, fire, water, wind, shadow, have their own specific animation. Again, I'm just mostly gonna be rotating EXP gains between Chu and Cloak. Chu, because he's gonna be in your main party throughout the entire game. There is a moment where he's not in the party. I guess little character fun facts. Shu from Disc 1 and in Disc 1 and Disc 2 is completely unable to flee. Like, you can't expect him to flee at all. Which is a shame because he's really fast, so we will often go first, granted. Fleeing rarely works. Only kind of works in bosses. Kinda. Overworld bosses tend to be able to play. They will regain their full health. You will not. So, generally don't flee. It's only like... I never need to feel the need to run from an encounter. Checkpoints are pretty generous before bosses. Given like the optional bosses, there will always be a checkpoint before the boss. And overall enemy encounters, not that much of a problem. So yeah, fun fact. Shu can't run, which, you know, really fits with until like Disc 3. Which really fits with his like character throughout the first 2 discs. Out of all the characters, I think he's the one who goes through the most character development. Because, like, the best way I can describe him from the first 2, for early, Shu is a headstrong dumbass. Like, as lovingly as I can, he's a bit of a headstrong dumbass. He... overconfident, as all JRPG protagonists tend to be. Sarcasm. Yeah, he's headstrong. It's like, and determined. But that can also tend to be a bit of it to his downfall. Sort of. Oh yeah, poison. Ugh. Poison is just kind of annoying. It'll go away once you reach 1 HP. However, he has to be at 1 HP. Which is often not very a good idea. Also, magic is only expended once you cast. So if you defeat the enemy before a caster is finished casting, they will not expend any of their MP. Which is good because, you know, sometimes you'll just end the battle before they can cast. Good thing we have an antidote. There are a few poison stink are the only ones that will actually carry on into overworld movement. And they do Stink already explained what it does in the overworld. It's more of a help than a hindrance. Unless you really do not want to fight shit. Which, I mean, understandable. Like, completely understandable. I too get tired of the constantly fighting everything. It's gonna help you in the long run. I'm gonna save my MP for wave 2. And see the problem with Smowdown. Does absolutely nothing in terms of damage. Yeah, I get high. Kill everything too, and do sometimes, so yeah. Sting, unless it's self-inflicted, is a very rare stat effect that you will not see at all, neither stun, because yes, as your chances of stun are increased, but like nothing really for most of the game uses stun. Physical attacks can inflict it. Magic attacks, not barely. Yeah, magic defense barely. Magic barely. And most enemies are immune to the spell that can actually inflict it. Actually, most of the enemies are immune to most status effect spells in general. Especially bosses. There's a rare few enemy types that are actually weak to certain spells. This game really is not a side effect heavy one, aside from inflicted onto you. And on you, it's not common. Got what I wanted. Alright, back to Generalist. Wow, poison's a lot worse than I thought. A lot more annoying than I thought. Ugh. In battles, it's like barely a problem, and overall, you take constant damage. I'd say this in like almost every RPG I play, but like, I mean it. Do not be afraid to use your items. It will save you 9 times out of 10. Moments of when Mowdown is actually really useful. Fun fact, you can actually make it get it to the point where you are lagging the game when you use Mowdown. Mowdown at higher levels is decent. Level 1, don't ever use it. Unless you like really want to deal damage to multiple enemies. Because you're losing out like 90% of your DPS. Ah, damage ranges. Aren't you a bitch? Surprisingly enough, a lot of the bosses are actually pretty manageable at only equipment stats. Like, a surprising number. Can you... Can you... Fag off. Also, you want to attack... If you're going to fight an enemy, you want to attack them, even if it's not a back attack, because it will often, like, mean you get first... You will have... Well, you'll have priority in the turn order. There are damage ranges. Like, is it a 1-to-1? I don't know how the damage formula works. Yeah, I'm sure I'm a huge nerd, but like, I don't know how the damage formula works. Mobility bands are gonna be really helpful because paralysis is a bitch of a status effect. Imagine, imagine Pokemon paralysis. But worse. You just lose turns. It's more akin to sleep. Of course, sleep you can just bonk your party member to wake them up. Versus paralysis, you need to heal it off. That's really fucking annoying. I don't have Mowdown. Nor will I spend the MP. Oh, fun fact, if you hit either of the bumpers, the screen will zoom out, and it'll show you whatever, like, your resistance is, I think, and, like, status effect immunities. It's... The time you get to disc 2, you can actually be immune to everything. Like, completely immune to every status effect. Minus self-inflicted ones. Via equipment. So, keep that in mind.
Critical. Defeated.
Fine game. Feel like that.
Defeated.
Now it's gonna use Mowdown. Stupidly, mind you.
Rank up.
But yeah, I was gonna use Mowdown. Fine game. Prevent me from doing that. We're approaching first town.
Nothing.
We now have a way to self-inflict. Stinky. Garlics are items that will heal for a lot. But they'll also inflict the stink stats effect, which is both a blessing and a curse, as I've mentioned.
Gold. Red.
Again, I have no idea if this is faster or not. It feels faster,
Gold.
but again, it's kind of a bit like dodge rolling in a Kingdom Hearts game. It feels faster. Whether it is faster or not, I cannot tell. But welcome to the Sheep Village. Next time on Let's Play Blue Dragon. Well, we make our way forward and fight the first boss. A painful one for beginners, and just kind of... It's a bit like an SMT first boss. Or I guess... that, skill check. Like Matador and, the Minotaur are... But, story for another time. So yeah, next time on Let's Play Blue Dragon, we go forwards. Till then.